one.
What's
I
up?
actually did hit you.
What's up, everybody? I'm Judge James.
I'm Judge Evie.
It's Living for Crits. We're back from Gen Con. We're wearing Gen Con shirts. You got my Spellburn shirt.
I have my good
Nice on the
Rick
back.
shirt.
You
Wait.
have the booth shirt.
Don't look at my
You're with the van.
You see it?
Happy Sunday. Got my bucket hat.
Oh my god, there's a huge chunk of my hair just falling out.
Yeah, Judge Evie's having hair problems right now.
It's because it's really gross because I was in a show and so it's covered in hairspray and like...
They had Matilda this
It's
weekend.
gross. It's not good.
But it's hair.
There's 3 shows of hairspray in it right now.
That's a lot of hair. You have 3 shows today?
No, I had 2 yesterday though.
Oh. So
And I showered yesterday.
You wash your hair
and
overnight?
I can't because then it won't stay. If it's too clean, it doesn't stay.
Weird.
It's weird, yeah.
That sounds awful.
It's disgusting. I still have all my makeup on too.
We've
But I took
taken
my
a break.
contacts out.
Your mom and I took a break. We were watching the Woodstock '99 documentary on Netflix because it's one of the only
Oh, no.
shows that we watched that in pay-per-view. You know what pay-per-view is?
No.
You know what pay-per-view is?
No.
So back in the olden days, like 1999, if you wanted to watch something that was like restricted or not restricted, but like to pay extra money for it, you'd have to like use a credit card and purchase the rights to buy it. You know what? Honestly, watching a show, renting a show on Amazon is probably the same thing. Pretty close. There's a lot of backstory to Woodstock '99 for us because your mom and I we watched that because my parents had ditched us. It was the summer of '99, and my wife was staying with us that summer at my parents' house, and I think she was working somewhere near Philly, and my parents went to California and didn't take us. Didn't take me or Jen. They just took my brother. And
That's unfortunate.
We of course decided to watch it, and we watched it at my dad's account essentially, which cost like $20-some. And my dad literally shook us down for that money over the course of like a week and a half after we got back from the trip. So pay for the flight for everyone to go out to California, but couldn't let us watch pay-per-view. Anyway, that's my rant about Woodstock '99. But this looks like a fun show. So Lex is excited. Hey, excited to hear about your Gen Con experience. This is gonna be fun.
It was interesting.
It was weird. I'm interested to hear.
I got new glasses.
You do. It has nothing to do with Gen Con, but yes, you do have new glasses.
I was just remembering.
You can see them
I
here.
was seeing how
There's
they
new
look on
glasses.
the thing. Yeah, they're new guys.
Let's go into our Judge Evie Presides section of the show.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Let's pound through this here because we have a lot to talk about when it comes to Gen Con. A lot to talk about.
What in the world?
What is this?
Bab took a bunch of pictures on my phone.
All right, rap first.
No.
Questions first. Questions this week are from Brian McKay.
Okay.
Anyone can send us questions, by the way, to dccjudgeevie@gmail.com.
So true.
But Brian is essentially, just like Greg is now like an unofficial producer of the show, providing us with questions for the Judge Evie Provides segment of the show. But
This
every
is
week,
also true.
dccjudgeevie@gmail.com. Whether we've covered DCC or not, it's a good place to ask questions. So let's go. What do we got?
Okay.
Question 1.
Aloha, judges. Hope you made it home safely and have recovered from the big event.
We did.
Here are some post-call
Hi, Dr.
questions
Marks.
for you. Or pour two.
Pour two.
Pour two? I don't know. Je ne sais pas. What was the maximum number of hours you gamed or ran games on any one day at the con? 0. I didn't run anything.
You did play though. You played one game.
I did play a game.
You played
It was like an hour and a half.
An hour and a half. And I would say that day, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is a different convention for us than typical. Where you would go to the convention. I always run my games. They're official games in the morning. I always run off the book stuff in the afternoon. I always did the after hours stuff. We didn't do any after hours gaming.
Nope.
We sat at the embassy suites where the DC stuff was going on.
Yep.
But we didn't go up there because it just felt weird. A lot of people. I mean, the embassy gaming after hours. I think it was unmasked. I figured going to this con I was going to get COVID. Fortunately, none of us did, but a lot of my friends did. So, but after hours, I was just sapped. So I would say at the most, the Friday of Gen Con, I ran the DCC tournament. It was 4 hours in the morning, and then I played Crimson Skies with my friend Rose. She and I played for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and that was the night that we ran the Visible Moon.
Oh yeah.
So 7 hours tops in one day.
1.5.
Next question. It ages you. What does the COVID, the pandemic?
Hat. No, the hat.
The hat ages me. You know my hair looks without it. Look at this. You know what ages me? The lack of hair on top of my head ages me. Bucket hat fixes it.
On. Okay.
Hat is on.
Look, I have a Band-Aid.
Next question.
It's orange.
No one cares. Next question.
Okay. Number 2. What was the best cosplay costume you saw, and did you get to ask them about their costume? No, and we did not, because I didn't really know.
The best? Show me more. It's not a lot to the Spellburn tee.
I saw people in Heather's costumes, and I saw people in Shira costumes, and yeah.
I think the best cosplay costume wasn't cosplay. There was a dude walking around the exhibitor hall in full-on plate mail armor.
Really?
Yeah. And I just got to say that, hats off to that person, because that's not comfortable. I get it. You want to show off, but, you are not comfortable wearing full plate armor. Hey, Dev, what's up?
Bonjour.
So I don't know, does full... It's not like cosplay. Oh, look, we have coffee and tea.
The good cup.
Can I have my...
Oh, we got coffee. The good cup.
Coffee's been served. Hey, Brian's here. Brian's live with us. You're reading Brian's questions. And Brian's here live.
Keep showing up.
I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Participate in...
I wonder where this...
Do you want a bucket hat?
I have this massive
drink
trash pile on my head. How am I supposed to put a bucket hat on?
I guess not.
All right, we have
Why
questions.
Why did you bring my bucket hat?
Thank you for the coffee.
I don't know where it is.
It's in my bag. It's so much cuter.
We have so much that happens during our shows, Evie. That's
this is terrible.
But leave it on. Wait, that's gonna be our. Let me get a picture of us. No, let me get a picture of us. Keep the bucket hat on. All right, ready? Here, look at. There we go. This would be good.
This is horrific.
No, this is fantastic. That's a good picture for our cover picture. I want my other
bucket hat. It's so much better. I have a frog bucket hat.
Anyway, all right. So let's keep talking here. Let's give the people what they want. All right. So Dr. Mog says plate mail is surprisingly easy to move in and gives +10 AC. All right. I get it. It's easy to move in, but how comfortable can it be? You cannot see through that helmet. So if you're in the Studio 2 aisle going through their discount bins,
makes me look bald.
How are you gonna?
Because all my hair's on this side.
Read the next question.
It makes me look bald.
Read the next question. So yeah, that's sort of cosplay.
Not bold.
We didn't do the parade this year.
How many times did people ask you if you wanted to play 5e or why you didn't?
I didn't get the question at all. Did you?
I had a Pathfinder thing.
I had people at the booth say this will be great for your 5e game, and I'm like, I don't play 5e. And if you answer that, they just kind of get confused. But
yeah,
I hung out with we really hung out with a crowd that knows what we play, don't play.
Yeah.
So it didn't come up. It didn't come up, thankfully. Next question.
Okay.
This is a longer one, isn't it?
Yeah.
What was? Go ahead.
What was the most elaborate judges/GM setup for a game that you saw or played in terms of screen, minis, VR, etc.? What was the most minimal? Did any judge just try to play with nothing but dice or no dice at all?
All right,
minimal,
I'm gonna.
The one that we played.
Which one?
Well, the one I played that you ran.
Visible Moon?
Yeah, it's pretty.
That was minimal. That was pretty minimal.
Not minimal. Oh my gosh, the people walking around with suitcases.
Yeah. But the suitcases, I think those are miniatures gamers.
No. Someone was not a miniatures gamer. They had a suitcase full of books.
I feel terrible about this, but there is one of the DCC judges. And I don't know their name. And I probably, if someone said, this is so-and-so, I'd be, oh, crap, why didn't I remember them? Because I know that this has come up before. I've been told, so I have a hard time with names and faces. I just always have. And it's easy when someone is, where I can see their name. I don't put it up against them. Like there was a story. Was it the last Cyclops Con, and after having several of his works, there's was it Marcio Muschedre came up to me and talked to me, and apparently I big timed him. I think I told him like, oh, I'm a podcaster, blah, blah, blah. Stop talking to me or something like that. Like I didn't recognize who he was or his name tag, and like if I knew it was Marcio, who's like way bigger than I am because he has written DCC modules, I wouldn't have been a jerk. Not that I should be a jerk at all, but I think I was tired that day. But there is one of the DCC judges who literally has like awards, a belt, like he's won like tournaments and stuff, and he brings it out to his table before he sets up. So when you look, it's like he like the award-winning judge, and I don't have any of that.
No, you're not cool enough.
No, I haven't won any awards. Actually, that's not true. I've won a couple awards, but I wouldn't bring them.
I have a couple from the old game store.
There you go. So having a table for awards is pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll talk about Visible Moon in a second.
Did you see or find any new games that really sparked your interest? No.
Yes.
Really?
Not new games. I'm now playing BattleTech after all these years.
I didn't really like walk around much. I kind of just chilled, and everything there's already.
My interest was sparked for Leviathan, Leviathans, the new the new minis game that's coming out. It's being kickstarted by Catalyst, but I didn't understand the Kickstarter, and when I tried talking to them about the Kickstarter, I wasn't 100% more clear about the Kickstarter, so I'm probably just not going to kickstart that, despite my excitement when I first saw it. We have some comments here. So, So Brian said, "What we aren't? We are definitely big time." Brian, we're not. I mean,
sure we are.
For the 12 people currently watching us on Twitch, which
time.
We appreciate, we are not big time.
We're so big time.
We're the number one DCC. We are not the number one. I think Goodman Games is the number one DCC Twitch streamer, and there's like 20. Is there like 20 sides to every story or something like that, or whatever? No, is that what it is?
I don't know.
There's other streamers out there that stream more than we do. So
I don't know. I think we're pretty famous. These bucket hats.
We're not famous. We are like the lowest.
We're like
of
the
low.
famousest bucket hat wearing.
We are the number one RPG show in all of Narangba, Queensland. That is true.
We're the number one RPG show that wears bucket hats.
Next question.
Yeah. Okay.
We tried. I always say if we put a little more effort into our show, like I think that we would.
What are you talking about? This is effort. That's effort.
Every show.
It's like a lot
we
of effort.
throw together show notes.
Do you want to see my show notes?
In like 17 seconds. Nice. And then your mom brings us coffee.
Tea.
You yell into the microphone, slap me in the face. And then
That's effort.
That is not effort.
So much effort.
We don't have any intro or outro.
Yeah, we do. Ew, and our outro is ASMR.
But we don't have, I watch, the D&D Saturday morning show.
Oh, when they have, the things on their screen.
With Jordan and Lucian. And that's some real stuff. That's a real show.
We're real. I'm real.
That's the charm, Greg says. It keeps him coming back. The fact the only that's that our only expensive backdrop is that more art just keeps appearing in the background. Mm-hmm. Number 3 DCC stream. There you go. All right. What's the next question? Okay. Any more questions left? Is the last one? Last one.
Did you witness or participate in any cool random acts of kindness? Just curious to see if they brought any nice moments in addition to all the gaming. Cheers, Brian.
I participate in any random acts of kindness. I mean, I
brought Mom coffee a couple times. That is so kind.
That is very kind. Your mom needed coffee.
I didn't bring you coffee.
Working on her side of the.
And then she would bring me coffee. In
her
exchange.
side of the world.
We would take turns bringing each other coffee.
We had that big family dispute that we've got. Part of the family is in the Monty Cook Games segment because they work for Monty Cook Games, and then there's me and Evie that just leave. Aside from covering a few meals and drinks and stuff for friends here and there, not really. We leave the. I'm just trying to think. I brought stuff back for people.
I didn't leave that booth
that they're not gonna have to pay for. But
I got those screens.
Yeah, So no,
one of them
we
mine,
aren't kind.
I don't know where it went.
Oh, it's in the drawer.
Okay.
I put it in there, sir.
I was making sure.
I didn't take it. All right, let's go on to, again, people can send us more. Oh, the rap. The rap. All right, here we go. You ready?
Mm-hmm. It's called The Return.
All right. We have some new viewers tonight. Sorry about the rap. Every week. These are from Greg Schwarzkopf. He has the dope
jam
rhymes.
with your bucket hat. They were gone at a con, but they're back on track. Sunday night isn't right if James and Evie are in sight. What's in store? I'm not sure, but it will not be a bore. Hashtag bucket hat. I had the last part.
You had that?
Yeah, I did. Was it good? Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. All right, so we're gonna cover Gen Con 2022 from all angles here, and when I say that, I think our goal is to cover it.
No, we're gonna like put our camera in different angles when we talk.
We're gonna cover the good, the bad, and the ugly this
good.
week. The good, the bad, and the ugly about Gen Con. I made a comment on Twitter last week. I think it was on Sunday, that this was the first Gen Con that I was kind of happy to leave. And that was maybe the extreme comment in some ways.
I had mixed
appeal feelings?
Yeah. I'm leaving.
Peel feelings is called flensing, right? When you peel
like
someone's flensing. When you
like
peel
with the
someone's
swords and the sticks,
you peel
like,
someone's skin away. You peel their skin away from their body while they're still alive. It's called flensing. It's like a torture method. I bought you that Shadow the Demon Lord book for Gen Con, so you have to you gotta know what flensing is. It probably is in there.
What is this piece of head?
So we're gonna cover through. I think I'm trying to decide what order we should go in. So let's go up with our general opinions of the convention and go into some specifics. I wrote some specifics for myself, for the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Really good specifics.
You do have some? I know.
I showed you them.
All right, I didn't see them.
A lot of ours overlap with each other.
All right, so let's start with, in general, it was weird to not have.
It was a little silly.
To not have been. It was silly. To not have been to a convention in 2.5 years, from PAX Unplugged 2019 to this, it didn't feel normal. I mean, you've got everyone's in masks. So, I mean, everyone's kind of so for me, from early pandemic days, and I think I've shared this before, I was out and about because of work. So, when I put a mask on, I go into work mode. I go into it just kind of triggers me back to...
It makes me feel like I'm in school.
Yeah, and there you go. So trying to relax and have a good time is tough. I was just always waiting to get back to the hotel room, take the mask off, and just chill for a few minutes. And the idea of staying out late until the after hours with it wasn't that great. So overall, it was weird being back.
It was strange.
What was your general overall feel?
It was just strange. No one knew who I was.
Well, I mean, there's a few reasons for that. The first is that we're not that big.
No, not like that. Some people that we knew, for friends, they knew who I was.
Well,
so
you're
I
older.
I would make eye contact and have a 2-minute long staring contest before someone would be like, "Wait, is that you?" And I'd be like, "Yeah."
You're 13. You were 13 before.
Yeah.
Now you're 16.
Mm-hmm.
You went before and you'd have just a ponytail and a DCC hat on, and this time a couple of those days you were dressed up like you were going to New York City with a blazer and stuff.
It's a look.
So it's a different look. I think Evie is replaced with the evil British Evie.
I can't.
Yeah, see, 3 years makes a big difference. I agree.
I can stop talking in the accent because of the show.
Brian says Singapore is still masks inside everywhere. The game put a bit. And all in masks. So all right, so let's go into the good things.
Okay.
So why don't you give us a good thing? And these are mine, but what's some good stuff that happened? We'll
go
back and forth.
My favorite thing.
Favorite thing.
The entire convention was when we would be sitting in the stadium, and it'd be me, and nobody else. No, it would be me, and it'd be Jess, and we would just sit there, and we would people watch and just stalk every single person around us for hours. But it was so chill in there because it wasn't that loud. But you could everyone was still there, but it wasn't that loud, and there were no creepy people in there. They were just chill people.
Jess McDevitt is definitely a DCC luminary who kind of makes sure that everything runs smoothly wherever she goes, and she is a wonderful human being. So I got some time to talk to Jess and to Brad, Big Devitt. But so people watching.
I think just chilling in that stadium was my favorite part.
So that's a good for you.
Yeah.
All right. A good for me in general was the Goodman Games booth. There was an energy around the Goodman Games booth, pretty much all of the Goodman Games area. So you had the booth where they had a big ziggurat set up, and then you had the Lucas Oil Field where the gaming was, where there's a wizard van and all kinds of tables and the art from, I know that they were, I know Brad McDevitt had his art out, and so did Doug Kovacs, and then so did someone else. Was it James McAusland? Is that his name? I'm bad with that. Here you go. All right. So you had some great art out there, and I think the booth, though, in the convention center, it was right near the eastern side of the con, and it was just like, was it Chris? This Matt Young. Is Chris Arneson the artist that was there? The other artist?
Je ne sais pas.
Why did I think it wasn't? Okay, there you go. I know Brad and I know Doug, so I saw them and was like, oh, there you are. And Matt says yes, that's Chris. All right, cool. Nice. Why did I think it was James there? I don't know.
Je ne sais pas.
Anyway, so their booth set up, I think it's the best booth set up of any game company that's at Gen Con, for the most part. A lot of game companies have similar setup, but the fact that some of it was behind, some of it was set up so you can go up and read the books. They're very accessible, and yes, if you can kind of like move through into the ziggurat, into the lair, and experience it, and you got to work in that.
Yeah.
How was it working in that? Keep the good stuff still. We're still in the good stuff.
We're in the good thing.
We're still in the good stuff.
I liked how you.
I know the one story that's coming, so let's keep the good stuff.
You just in the booth. You just like you weren't like stuck. Like you could actually like walk around and talk to people. But like sometimes it'd be weird if you were just stuck, like just standing there like hello. And then
who is that? We're gonna get rid of that.
I don't know.
It's Cooper. What the heck?
I did not run anything.
Anyway.
I was a working lad. I worked like 23 hours.
You worked a lot of hours.
I worked 23 hours.
Orcus Dorcas is here. The vibe at Lucas Oil was definitely different than the rest of the con areas in a positive way. So Orcus Dorcas, I have to ask this question because have we did we interact at all in person? I just don't realize who you are behind the screen name. Like I swear there are some people that I know online and I don't really know them well in person, and it's just like I kind of wish I connected with some people. Since I chat with you on Twitter, and you're going to say that they do know me, and I saw them there, and I just nodded or something like that. I didn't realize who they were. That's what's going to happen. Other docs is the change can hit us at different times. Off of that warning, I think I started to turning British from the age of 9. Oh my gosh.
It's the show, I'm telling you.
All right,
everything had to be in British.
Another fun thing was every time they saw me, I was running a game. You can always intrude. I don't care. That wouldn't bother me.
I would intrude. I'd be like, "Yo, what's
up?" To comment what Orcus Dorcas said, another fun thing was the vibe when you're playing, when you're playing a DCC game in front of people, and there's enough tables going, and it was a chill vibe in Lucas Oil. It does not get as loud in Lucas Oil as it does in one of the game rooms in the convention center.
You can like hear you can hear yourself. You don't
have to scream. It's distracting because you've got the jumbotrons going off with ads.
Oh my god, it's not the jumbotrons.
That's distracting. But
like
it did feel more comfortable as a GM at that table. And I only ran 3 games in there. I ran the tournament twice, and I ran one adventure. Don't yawn.
I'm sorry.
I ran the Serve Brenlin Red, my 100th DCC adventure I've run. I ran that there.
Why are you making fun of my yawn?
I'm trying to yawn. It's because I don't want to yawn.
I'm tired.
So I would say that yes, that was a good thing playing in there. What's another good thing, Judge Evie?
I only wrote one.
You wrote one thing, and that was it. Was talking.
I liked Visible Moon.
Well, why don't you tell the viewers what Visible Moon is?
It's Invisible Moon. It's Invisible Sun, but not. It's like everything, but not anything.
So this box over the black box over here,
next to the bucket hat,
underneath the Deadlands dice thing, is our black cube for Invisible Sun by Monte Cook Games. One of the few games that I opened, I read a lot of, and I decided I can't run that because I don't get it. And I've been talking about running Invisible Moon at some point, which doesn't exist. I think Keith Garrett wrote a Visible Moon like. No, it was Roxanne is what he called it. Roxanne was his take on the Invisible Sun. Well, what he did was he took and he based it on another song from the Police, like Invisible Sun.
Walk these streets for money. You don't care if it's wrong if it is right.
So I wrote Visible Moon, the most crazy, wacky game based on what I thought Invisible Sun could be. I wrote it in about an hour on Friday night and asked who wanted to play it. First, I went over to the Monte Cook Games after hours event. It was interesting getting in there, you know.
I was trying to find an outfit.
Sometimes the people that can cause the most damage are the ones you don't expect, you know. I'm sorry. SEAL Team 6 going on here. So anyway, when I got in there and I tried to invite some people from there to play, inside joke, to play Visible Moon with us, but no one wanted to do that. My friend Dave Hanlon, I asked him to play, and he's on Discord, and he's like, "Oh, you mean Invisible Sun, right?" And I was like, "No, it's Visible Moon," and he said no. But I did find some willing participants, so the entire Slakinski family played. You played, Mark played,
why'd you spell his
and
name
Rose
wrong
played.
On the notes?
What?
I just spelled his name wrong.
What do you mean?
Wouldn't Mark have to be with a C if it's Merc with a C?
No, I think his Mark is with a K on the end, I believe.
But then why does Merc have a C?
Because it's like mercenary.
What?
Anyway, so the way
it's not
so the stats for how did I build? I built the system around. You had 4 stats. You had your taste.
Oui.
Your class,
Oui.
your what was the third thing?
Gear.
Your system and your gear.
And your gear.
So
I was on
umami was your taste, your flavor.
Yeah, and then my occupation was the number 16.
You were a number, so you had.
I was the
number 16. The embodiment of the number 16.
I ran off of
Mothership.
Mothership.
Because every character ran off of a different engine, whether it was Mothership or Fantasy Age or something.
Yeah, and then my gear was interpretive dance.
Right. Just
you spelled umami wrong. That's not how I spelled it.
That's how umami spelled.
No, it's not
just
how
like
I spelled
one of the
it.
players,
No.
one of the players at the table was a. You could be a spicy corporate. Like, so you're a corporate entity. Like, you could be Subway, or you could be like, Best Buy. You could be a spicy Best Buy running off of the age system, and your gear could be a European country. Just the European country. One gear was the Fast and the Furious. That's what Merc had. He had
Someone had a bucket of adverbs.
A bucket of adverbs.
Yeah.
So that's the way it worked. Circuit City, Brian, definitely works. So, and the adventure was all about it was a whodunit adventure where about the number 9, remember the number 9 and her quest to defeat 7 because she still wasn't over the whole 7, 8, 9 situation.
Yeah.
Your mother was 9, 7 was your father, and it worked out perfectly because you picked the number 16, and I just made that work. That you were the child of 7 and 9, which works out mathematically. In the end, it's funny. So other doctors, I'll be honest, running Invisible Sun does such like you're describing, and that's what everyone seemed to tell me when I told them we ran and explained it to them. Except for the whole multiple systems thing, that it looked the same way. I always described like Invisible Sun of like. It's like you make a character who's living embodiment of like what a lamp feels like, or something like that. But that was fun.
It feels like nothing.
That was a good game. Another fun thing I would say was connecting with our friends from a private Discord server, and hanging out at night at the Marriott, playing Crimson Skies with Rose and Stargrave with Andrew. Merc Mark and the Slakinskis kind of hanging out with us a lot, and then lunch with Jordan, who was also on the Saturday morning D&D show. That was a fun time. Having those moments with people I was more familiar with, I think we were more familiar with, made us a bit more comfortable than meeting a lot of people we didn't know. For us, I also left with a renewed appreciation for BattleTech. I went there not planning on getting into BattleTech again, but I talked a lot to people who play BattleTech. I saw their setup and ended up coming home to a bunch of new BattleTech stuff. And now me and Cooper have been playing BattleTech the last 2 days.
Yep.
And it's been a good time. I played BattleTech a lot. It was the second game I played, the second, like, I'm not trying to say a normal board game, but, like, you know, the kinds of games we play, people that watch this show. It was the second game that we play, you know, because you had, you know, D&D and then BattleTech were the first games I played in, like, 91, 92. So Cooper's now playing BattleTech at the same age I was when I started. All right, any more good stuff you want to discuss?
Oh, no. I'll see how long it could last.
Going into the bad here?
I guess so.
Let's discuss the bad of Gen Con 2022. The first thing was crap closing early.
Yeah, what the heck, Indianapolis?
Like,
seriously. Do you have a bedtime of 2 in the afternoon?
Like, I mean, coffee shops closing at 3?
Yeah. I was like, oh, I'm going to go get Starbucks. And it was like, we close at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Why would you close your Starbucks at 3 o'clock?
That's like when you start your 4th cup of the day.
That's when you need coffee. Like, the one time you need coffee is at 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you're closing.
Like, excuse you. Who let you do this?
I'm guessing Starbucks corporate. So, in general, it happened for Starbucks. It happened for restaurants. It happened for bars. I wasn't really drinking at the convention, but, like, when you want to hang out somewhere, a bar is a good place for people to hang out at.
How was I supposed to get my sparkling water?
So when these places closed down, it kind of limited some of the after-hours events, and it limited your food options. The food truck scene wasn't bad, but, you know, they would leave.
They were like or like, it'd be like before they were supposed to close down, we would get there and they'd be like, sorry, we're like actually closing right now.
And they'd tell you food trucks were there that weren't. So I think the food and beverage scene wasn't strong enough to cover the cost, cover the amount of people there. And then the hotels, like, if it was after a certain time, you could not get a drink. Like, and I'm not talking like liquor. I'm talking you couldn't get a soda or something like that, because at least at the Marriott, even the amenities, the thing that you can go into and order drinks or get drinks like sodas and seltzers and things like that, the snacks, closed. So, and that closed after like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night.
For real. So
stuff closed way too early, and it did not do well catering to us, unless you wanted pizza. Because hot box pizza was always open. What's a bad thing that you want to mention? Remember, ugly is where it gets really bad. So big.
I think one of my only bad things was just run.
Like, explain that. Because they don't know what that means.
Okay. So,
I know what that means. They don't know what that means.
So, one of my big things was, so I'm here. I'm gonna like get a little map on this tissue. And let me get a marker.
I'm gonna give a little map on this tissue and this marker.
Yeah. We are here.
We're on bad, Orcus Dorcas. We are moving on to bad. And Judge Evie is gonna use a marker.
Okay. So this?
You are gonna write on your face. There's no way you don't. All right. I somehow don't feel like the way you're doing this, by holding the marker in your mouth like you're a dog and drawing on it's going to really work.
Is the Goodman booth. GB. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Now this is the MCG booth.
Okay.
And then...
What are you trying to draw? What? The suspense is killing. What is this?
This is the Goodman booth. And then you have the back. And then that's the stadium.
No, it's not. This is Goodman. This is Lucas Oil. And that's where the stadium is, over there. It was really far. It was really far to get to the stadium.
And I would make trips back and forth because they would need people to like run waters down.
You walk like 8 miles a day at Gen Con.
I would be like,
which has always been the case, but I was not ready for it. I was not, and I was running. Prior to Gen Con, I was running 3 to 4 miles a day or ellipticaling 3 miles a day. Anyway.
It was a very full hike. What was
it was
that?
A lot. I don't know what that was. Don't worry about it. Ignore it.
Je ne sais pas.
You would have brought your own food, but your judge does not check for rations.
No, there was food.
We actually brought food.
There was instant rice.
We had instant rice, which we didn't have a microwave for.
Cans of garbanzo beans.
Cans of Greek style chickpeas and cans of stuffed grape leaves.
Oh, that's so bad.
Because that's what me and your mom could
Essentially
eat.
What I
let's be honest, Indianapolis isn't exactly a vegetarian hotspot in the United States. All right.
What I ate.
It's not.
When it was late and they were doing
Maybe it
that.
used to be. It's not now.
I ate snack pack goldfish. And little fruit bars.
You don't need a can opener when you've got with the ones we've had. You just pop the top and it opens up.
No can openers.
We just couldn't cook it. So like the instant rice, it was the rice that's already cooked because you microwaved. So I just ate it cold with my hand one night. Did nothing else. So another bad thing. I kind of discussed gaming in masks a little bit. I mean, I don't like doing that. And COVID con crud sucks. Oof. I mean, COVID con crud is terrible.
I didn't have time to have COVID con crud. I had a
We didn't get it, but a lot of our friends did, and that sucks. Several people that work for my wife at Monte Cook Games got it. They came down with it, and I know some people at Goodman got it. I think 1 out of every 5 people I've talked to from Gen Con got COVID.
Oh,
so
nice.
I know. Look at that. Must be immune or something. I don't know.
I feel like I'm saying this and I'm probably getting COVID like tomorrow, but like I've had so many close instances.
You're getting COVID tomorrow. You
someone
definitely just cursed yourself with COVID.
No, just because of this one thing that happened. So I went to a movie with somebody, right? And we literally shared popcorn. We like didn't share a drink because that's gross. But we literally shared popcorn, sat right next to each other, and didn't have a mask on for 3 hours, and I didn't get it, and they had it. When they were most like.
Just very, very lucky.
I definitely have COVID now, but I just wanted to share. So, sorry.
Of course, you go back 2.5 years to our very early episodes during the pandemic, and I'm like having to walk off site. It's not COVID. You know?
When I made you sit behind there?
Yeah. I was probably COVID. Another negative, I think we talk about is the QR codes. I don't understand
QR codes for what?
In general, like the exhibitors, some of the exhibitors. Like
I really go around.
Yeah.
I bought stuffed animals.
Like they had a really great display for Hero Quest. If you wanted Hero Quest though, you'd have to go scan a QR code and pre-order it from Hasbro, which why? Like either have the game or bring it out another year. Like I still have like kind of like have the chapped of asses here about like a company like Hasbro essentially kickstarting and pre-ordering stuff when it's, you know, a freaking, you know, multi-billion-dollar company having to pull that crap.
Hasbro,
you know?
like My Little Ponies?
Yeah, like My Little Ponies. Do you need a Kickstarter My Little Hasbro?
Yes.
No, they don't.
My Little Ponies. I want them to bring back the old series, Generation, because they have the new generation now,
Why
and
don't you
it
just
sucks.
call them? Go call them.
Okay. Hello, Hasbro?
Judge Evie is calling Hasbro right now.
I am. I'm angry. I want the old My Little Ponies back.
So, yeah, you go up to a booth, you see something you want, you scan it, you know, and it's like, well, we don't have that. You can pre-order it, though. I kind of get it when you're at the Dwarven Forge booth. Well, Dwarven Forge has a no-touch policy now, and one of the things I really liked with Dwarven Forge stuff, it made me buy it, was being able to play with it back in 2016, 17. So I hope you guys at Dwarven Forge, that's a one-time, like because of COVID, you're not letting anyone touch any of this stuff, because I think folks have to handle that to kind of get the appreciation of how durable it is. So, but again, it's a weird year. There was a lot of boosts that just surprised me of what they had and didn't have. Like Osprey Publishing, who makes Fantasy Frostgrave and Stargrave, didn't have Frostgrave or Stargrave there. Or Gaslands or anything else that anyone I know who plays their games plays. A bunch of crap that was none of that. So it's like, okay, like what? I asked them, where's Frostgrave and Stargrave? We didn't bring it. You have new releases coming out. Now, I mean, I know they can't compete with the juggernaut that is, Warhammer 40K and BattleTech and all that stuff, but come on, like, where's that stuff at? So I did not get a lot of stuff from the exhibitor hall. The one thing I did get, and I will say this as a favorite purchase, I did buy a piece of Brad McDevitt's Lankmar art, an original piece that went in one of the Lankmar boxes or books, and I'd show it, but it's currently being like professionally framed. So One day we'll get a picture of that probably on the Twitter. If you go to my Twitter feed at Living for Crits, at I Live for Crits, I'm sorry. You can go back and see me taking a picture with Brad. I think it's on our Living for Crits Instagram as well.
Which is back up.
Yeah. Let's talk ugly. We're at 9:42. We're running late. We still have 15 people watching this. So let's talk the ugly of Gen Con. You can cover this first.
I don't even know where to start. Let's just say some people are really disgusting. And I'm not talking like you need to pull your pants up because I can see your crack. I mean, yeah. But also, like, you're just gross. Like,
the amount of people that inappropriately, like, approached Evie, to be gross or to say things that are
what's double bad?
When they say harassing comments.
When they say gross things and have their cracks out, then it's a double whammy.
That's
ugliness.
A double whammy. But I think that, and again, this has been a problem in the gaming verse forever. You have a bunch of guys there. I mean, I'm sure there are women that could do it as well, but most likely with 99.99% chance. So I don't think any women came up to you and said anything like that to you, right? It was all dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, working the booth, being a woman working a booth at the convention is like, I mean, that's a tough one. So
nasty.
And I understand that maybe I've had the advantage of not having to experience it with one of my kids yet until this con. But this was the con I think we saw it rear its ugly head.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God for some people at the Goodman Games booth. I think, honestly, I don't think I'd be comfortable you working at any booth besides Goodman Games because, like, there's some men, like, Thorne and Tim could tear a guy in half.
Yeah. That'd be interesting to watch.
I'd watch that.
I would.
So that's an ugly at Gen Con. And maybe that's been the... I feel like every year there's a push to make Gen Con more inclusive for everyone. But there's also an equal push from, like, asshats that, like, want to make it worse. And I just feel like... I don't know if it's gotten any better or any... I don't know if it's gotten any better, I think there's a lot of... I think Gen Con, like, is covering themselves legally and ethically from the corporate moral standpoint as much as they have to. But the reality is that, it's not enough. I didn't see as many volunteers as I have in previous years. Usually I think there's people out there that are more of a presence, and I didn't see that this time around. So I don't know if that means anything. Again, it's why it became safer, it felt, to be in our own space with our own people, that we kind of know who they are. So that was something. What's some other ugly stuff from the con?
Trying to think.
I mean, anything else you want to talk about ugly-wise?
Well, that's what I had written, was just gross, disgusting people.
Okay. I think that a lot of people don't know how to communicate with each other.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Think you got this one now?
I think they forgot that they had a mouth. Like, I don't know if they knew how it worked again. Like, you'd say hi to someone, they'd be like, hello. Hi, how's your day? I'm like, what? Like, do you have a mouth? Can you not use it? Did they forget how it functions?
Well, I mean, even for saying things like common courtesy, a lot of that was lacking.
I know. I held this door open one time for like 50 million people. I was like, Like, not to be rude or anything, but like, jeez.
Trying to think here. Had the one dude, name shouldn't be mentioned, that said aggressive stuff to me at an event. That was fun. So I mean, some people are wired. You know, it's one thing when someone is telling you like how tough they are, and you think that they're drinking, and you're like, okay, well, the good thing is that you're going to be tipsy turvy. It's not such a good thing when they realize they're not drinking. So I'd rather be, if someone's going to throw down with me, I'd rather be drunk, I think, because I think I could dodge that faster. Yeah. You know, a little more local harassing than usual, which is kind of sucks because, like, come on, Indianapolis, we bring the revenue off your way. The whole, you know, during the convention of Indiana ruling against the bodily autonomy of women thing, that kind of sucked. What else was ugly this year? I'm trying to think. I always had one on my tongue, but I can't remember it now. This is the first year is preachers yelling into like freaking like satanic panic shit going on, yelling into.
It was like the documentary where it's like D&D brings the devil into your house.
Yeah, like I mean, the guy's like, "Do you want to invite Satan to your table?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
I mean, I think that would be awesome. I think he would have a good time. I mean,
he was like, I stopped playing games when I was younger, and I spent all of my time going to the Lord, like my mom told me. And I was like, congrats to you. You know how to, like your mom's dude. Like, chill out.
What?
Like, he was like, that guy was like the epitome of like, oh my gosh, I need to like do everything for my mom. Like, I'm such an angel. Like, la 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 la. I will never do anything wrong because I am so great. And Mom, I'm gonna go tell all of these people that they're gonna go to hell because of these dudes and like be proud of me. And she's probably like, oh my gosh, son, you're doing such a good job. Go, you praise them with that megaphone. Go do that.
Yeah, I don't think I would ever. Orcus Dorcas says I had some local social faux pas at the table, just general rudeness. Brian says if you lose faith with large gaming events, and mainly the horrible guys that seem to attend and continue to troll, harass others. I mean, to be fair, I mean, it wouldn't be the first thing if we didn't go back to Gen Con for some reason. It wouldn't be the first thing we fled. I mean, you've had issues when you were much younger with, you know, people saying inappropriate things to you in you know, gaming in public events. It's not the first time. I mean, there's a reason why we gravitate towards Goodman Games besides the game. The community is fantastic. Like, I know full well when we would do the gaming in Pittsburgh at the local game store there, even though there was someone there that'd be looking out for my kids because they were friends with me and we've known them for a while. And I know that at the Goodman Games booth, everyone there, including Joe Goodman and Jen Brinkman, who work for Goodman Games, I mean, it's Joe Goodman. I mean, they are really, really, really on the lookout to make sure that everyone there is safe. But I can't speak to, I don't know. I definitely would not go back to Gen Con if it wasn't for, you know, that crew. I wouldn't. Mm-hmm. There's no way. It's like, you know, so it kind of, you know, Brian, to your point, you know, in a way, like these large cons, you know, I think the local smaller cons could be a safer bet. Honestly, I'd be much more comfortable. We're going to have people here at the Second Walls Dungeon Tavern Con and Labor Day weekend. We're having a couple friends come over. We're going to do a whole weekend of gaming, like 5 RPGs in one weekend. We'll probably do a live stream during that at the end of like Sunday. I'm much more comfortable with that and with the online cons. I really, really missed Cyclops Con. And I think the last Cyclops Con, I don't think there was as much online. There weren't a lot of people there. And that bummed me out. I loved the first Cyclops Con and how much of a presence there was. People hanging out online in Gather Town. And I feel like that's kind of, people got back to regular conventions and lost that. And I really wish they didn't. I just... You know, it's weird. I still have a nostalgia for some of the early COVID days, not because of the COVID, but because of like, you know, I think like people found what they loved, who they wanted to be during that time. And a lot of people discovered themselves in ways they hadn't known during the lockdown. But I think there are those people that discover that they're assholes and mm-hmm. decide to double down on that. Or they always just were assholes.
It's their asshole awakening.
So that's the good, the bad, and the ugly at Gen Con. You know, I mean, I was like, oh, I'm not doing another one of these again. I'm not going to Gen Con again. And I think I could be happy if if there wasn't a presence from Goodman Games, I could be happy not going to another one. It would be I'd be fine with it. That said, I've heard some great things from my friend Rose about the BattleTech group there, and like my hope is that Cooper will play that quite a bit. I can play some BattleTech with him next year because he wants to go next year. So I don't want to deprive him of that. So, all right, Brian says we're already working on the CyclopsCon Australia. We got 2 of us signed up so far, working on a larger venue than my Lanai. I would. Damn, we gotta go to Australia and play games, Brian.
Yeah. Okay, I'll get the tickets.
I do want to spend more time in the next year gaming in smaller scenes and going and traveling and gaming, but
I will agree with Ion.
Let's move on. Kickstarter shout-outs. All I got right now is that Zine Quest 4 is going on right now, and if you go to goodmangames.com, goodman-games.com, you can click in the top right corner and you'll see all of the current DCC and MCC third-party Kickstarters going on right now. So go check out that. And then Road Crew shout-outs. I think the next CyclopsCon is in May. Oh, yeah, Dev, you want to shout out Kickstarter? Please do. Dev, type it in the...
Type.
Yes. Type it, and I will say it, and then we will type it into the YouTube feed. We need to stall as Dead types. What can we...
Do you want to hear a joke?
Yeah.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
That cup.
What? That cup? That cup who?
That cup is red. Your mind... No!
Alright, so there, alright, so Dev just posted a...
See, I was such a good staller.
Ball of the Wild, a drag-inspired tabletop RPG. I will go ahead and I will copy that, and I will put that into... So everyone go check that out. Go check it out on the link. It's an indie... It's more of an indie GA Ethan. What's a GA Ethan?
I don't know.
Indie game? More of an indie game than what you'll normally go for, but it's a good friend with a great person making this cute game. Well, heck, we're gonna go ahead and share
before. It. How? I made it up off the top of my mind.
Ball of the Wild. That was a terrible joke.
It was such a good joke.
I will put it.
It is a red cup.
So go check that out. It is a TTRPG, a drag-inspired TTRPG zine. We share anything on here. Not anything, but anything by cool people.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so I don't know when the next Road Crew is, the next CyclopsCon is. I don't know what the next con we're going to be going to is, except for our local thing we're doing. And then I don't know if I keep going back and forth on PAX Unplugged. Just because.
Oh, I already told Bab we were probably going to go. So you're screwed now.
I guess we're going to PAX Unplugged.
Yeah.
Where can folks find us elsewhere, JGV?
They can find us at Living for Crits on Instagram and at Out of Crits. Wait, hold the phone. This is all twisted. At Out of Crits on Twitter again, and Living for Crits on Instagram, and search Living for Crits on YouTube if this hat doesn't fall off again. Only if the hat doesn't fall off though.
All right. And until next time, be safe, be healthy, be kind. My outro ASMR is going to be SEAL Team 6.
Say.
Yeah, follow up. Yeah, follow that up.
I don't know.
You gotta do it.
I don't know.
Do an ASMR, baby. It's a boom mic.
It's a boom mic.
That's it?
No,
that was it? It's a boom mic?
Not it. I was just saying the line.
You gotta do an ASMR.
I don't know what to say.
All right, that's it. There we go. Here we go. Good night, everybody.